friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to all my returning subscribers, and a very warm welcome to the additional 26 new subscribers to the channel. If you are new to my channel, I'm Teresa. I'm a UK based stitcher, and on this channel I love to share all my stitching relating crafts, projects on whips, finishes, stitching plans, and all the cozy things that go in between, with a little bit of life update at the end of all the other things that take up my time in between all of the stitching that I do. I talk about all my stitching adventures, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. So today I have got my April stitching update for you, and I've made some lovely progress this month, and even dipped into some May type stitching because it's the 5th of May. So let's jump straight in of what I've been working on. First up is my family Afghan. This is a Wichelt Imports. Here's a picture of what it will look like when it is completed. It's a very, very big project, I must say. Where I've got pictures of where you last saw this, I will try and put them in as we go along. So I'd already done this block here. So this is block 1. And this block, so I've done the block directly underneath, so we've done that one, and I have finally, yay, she says, completed this block here. It was a much bigger block, there was a lot of sky, but that one is done. I gave this one 2 days of love in April, and I'm really pleased because I managed to get a full block finish, which is like its own little finish. I rather like that own little finish bit. Like I say, where I've got pictures of where you last saw this, I'll put them in so that you can see how far we've got. This project is stitched on an 18 count Fireside it's an Afghan fabric from Wichelt Imports, and I'm using the good old fashioned DMC. It's being stitched 4 strands over 2 in full cross, which gives it all the really, really nice texture. I just love this. I just love how cozy this one is. It's just such a comfort project. Each square feels like its own little mini finish, so even if I don't touch it for a while, picking it up again feels so glorious. And yeah, the little finishes just make it much more manageable. There's a lot of it. I mean, I've only done 1, 2, 3 blocks, which equates to 1, 2, 3. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm not sure whether I should go down and do this one, which is a lot of house, which is all browns, or whether I should just succumb to yet more sky and get the sky over with. I don't know. Open to thoughts. I quite like the idea of doing something different on the Afghan, but then I'm sitting there thinking, but I've got all this sky that I've still got to do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. So that is the progress that we got on the Afghan. It's huge. It's so big and comfy. Next up is Blooming Tiny Town from Heart in Hand. This is a picture of what it will look like. You'll know that this was the project that I decided to take and have a new start on when I went off to Jamaica on my holidays, and this is where we've got to. So yeah, this has been sort of like worked on whilst I was on holiday, and then I converted it over to my train project. So when I'm going in and out of London, this is the one that I've been working on. So we've got most of the little houses. We've got the little, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna say that's like a bird or a chicken of some description. And then over here you can see there's just this last little bit that needs doing. This is the final house, she says. So let me see if I can do this without a glare. So I'm working on this little house here, and then this will be a finish. So what is left to be done on this? This still needs the specialty stitches. So these flowers here need doing. The button needs putting on. These buttons need putting on. And then these tulipy looking flowers at the top, I need to go back and do those because I haven't done those yet. So I've left all the specialty stitches until last. I was rather hoping that I was going to get this final house completed before I uploaded this video, but as you can see, that hasn't happened. So this one got 2 days in April and then another 3 days in May. So it's becoming a little spring favourite, this one. This one is being stitched on a lovely 28 count hand-dyed linen in the colourway Vanilla Bean by West Green Loft Yarns. And I'm using the mix of classic Colorworks and Weeks dye work threads. Like I said, it's a train project, but it's perfect. It's perfect for spring stitching. The colours just pop. And it's a great one to stitch when you want something lighter and a little bit more playful. It's definitely more playful than the big old Afghan. And yeah, it's been playing a lot on the train. So I've just got this house and these specialty stitches, which I'm rather hoping that I can get done the rest sometime this week. And then I will actually get a fully finished object. Then it will just be whether I actually get round to fully finishing it. My intention is to use these really gorgeous wooden display things that I got off of Etsy. I think someone else had posted these up. So they're made, they're not quite completed, but the idea is that it will be FFO'd onto here, and then the plan, she says, famous last words, nothing like a good plan. The plan is that once I have finished the stitching, I will finish it and then put a border around it of fabric, of coordinating fabric, and then have them on here with magnets or something along that lines, so that I can switch them out as and when I do more of the tiny towns. That's the plan. I've got 2 of these. I got these off of Etsy. If I can find the link, I will put the link in the description box below, but that is the plan for FFOing. Like I say, these have been made in the hope that I was going to get something done and finished on it ages ago, and yeah, as you can see, until now nothing has been finished to go on there. But yes, we are heading in the right direction, and we will have a little finish. Whether I, like I say, whether I get around to fully finishing, I don't know. So although I've managed to get a bit of stitching in this month, it seems to be that instead of pulling out lots and lots of different whips and projects, I've not done that. I've sort of done the projects and sort of stuck with them. So obviously the Afghan, that there was a lot of stitching in the Afghan, and I'm quite limited of how and when I can stitch on that one because it's so big. The Tiny Towns was my train project, so I did do a fair amount of commuting into work, so that one got a lot more love. And then this next one is pretty much on the same it's on the same thing. So this is finally this is the 3 projects I've stitched on this month. It is Winter White Santa. This is one of my oldest whips, and it has seen a real resurge, let's say, lately. So this is my Winter White Santa by Mirabilia, and here he is. I've just taken this off because I didn't just do stitching on this, I done beading on this as well. So let's pull him down. So there we go. So I stitched on Winter White Santa for 9 days in April, and even gave him 1 more day in May so far. So this one is being stitched on a 28 count Lugana in the colourway Tempest by Chromatic Alchemy. Chromatic Alchemy have actually discontinued now. She no longer creates fabric, so you won't be able to get your hands on this fabric anymore. I'm using all the called for threads. He is a beautiful Mirabilia design, and I just love all the elegant festive details. I've gone in and done the beading, so let me see if I can get you some sparkle. Yep, you can see a bit more sparkle in there. So what did I do? So we put all of the beads in and filled in the gaps. So we've got beads here, we've got a few more beads down here. I finished this bit, I think. I then went over and done part of the, I don't know, the shoulders, the sash. So we've done this little bit here, and then I've basically done all of this down here as well. So yeah, as you can see, Winter White Santa has had lots and lots of love this month. Lots and lots of love in April. He's such a seasonal piece, and usually I only work on him in the winter, but this month I was really feeling like doing him again. I did take this project to the No Blame retreat, but then realized that I'd pinched some of his threads for another project, so that was when it was a bit of a foul. So I finally kitted him back up properly with all the floss and the thread drops. If I remember right, I worked quite a bit on the bottom of his coat and some of the borders around him. So yeah, this is all new, this bit here. I don't think you would have seen that. And obviously this section here I done, and I did the remaining beading. So he's got all of his beads in his sleeves and in his beard, just so that I wasn't leaving gaps, because I made that mistake on my chatelaine and that took a long way to get us back on track, by leaving all of the beads to the end. So I've gone in and I've done all of the beading up to this section, and then I'll probably pick this next section here, because this is like a section here. So I'm going to do this bit, put the beads on, and then just work my way down. But yeah, he has had so much love, and I've thoroughly enjoyed working on him. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Absolutely glorious. So that is it for the stitching. I know that it sort of sounds like I haven't really done much, but I have, because I've done a lot of stitching, but only on a few of the projects. Rather than keep switching them out and do a bit here and a bit there, I've literally just sort of focused and honed in and dedicated myself to just those 3 projects, and it seems to be working. That's not to say that it will always work, that's just how this month went. So let me move this out of the way, because he's on some big frames. I had to move it all the way to one side because the overhead camera, I can't squeeze it on the table otherwise. So let me put him over there. What next? So quick WIPGO check-in. April's numbers called for 4 and 10, both of which were the Afghan, and I'm happy to say, she says, like a massive great big blanket Afghan. So I stitched the full 5 days across the prompts. That was 2 days for number 4 and 3 days for the number 10. Now looking ahead to May, the numbers are 5 and 19. So prompt number 19 is again for the Afghan. So I'll be starting a brand new block. So yeah, tell me what you think. Should I do the block to the right and do more sky, or should I come down and just do something completely different? Because I feel like I'm skied out on the Afghan, but then at the same time it's like, well, it needs to be done. Maybe I should just plug on with the blue sky and get to all the fun stuff later. So let me know in the comments below what you think I should do. Prompt number 5 is for something in the category of a fancy lady, fancy man, mermaid, fancy something. I've already done 1 day on Winter White Santa, which technically fits the theme. So that's 1 day out of the 2 days that I needed to stitch. So realistically I could just put Winter White Santa away, but I'm torn whether I should just give him the 2nd day as well, or mix it up and pull out my Bella Filipina Maiden of Tapataha. Because yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you'd pick in the comments. I always love hearing your thoughts. But yeah, so that should be May's WIPGO. And as long as I do my May WIPGO, you know, anything else that I get is a bonus. That's how I see it. So that is pretty much it on the stitching, I have to say. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but I've actually got a lot of stitching and less whips to show you. So I still feel like I've achieved a lot. So next up is life update. So for those of you that are not here to listen to me ramble on about what else has gone on in my life, then feel free to head off. April was a bit of a rough one for me health-wise. I ended up down with yet again another virus, and this one really knocked me out. It lasted over 2 weeks. I was in bed for around 3 or 4 days straight. Honestly, colds are just not colds anymore, are they? They're horrid viruses. So I've started taking some vitamins to try and pep myself up a bit. I really struggle with taking tablets. They just don't sit well on my stomach. So I did some research and discovered these new oral spray vitamins. Apparently, they're more effective because they bypass the digestive process and get absorbed through your cheeks and under your tongue. I was a bit skeptical about the taste, but I'm using the Better You brand and they're honestly not bad at all. So right now I'm taking the vitamin D 3000 IU, and fingers crossed they'll help me stay a bit more resilient, especially because my husband Darren came home yesterday from racing with yet more germs. I've also started taking the vitamin C daily oral spray as well, because yeah, I'm rather hoping that these are going to help me stop getting sick. So I have banished hubby to one side of the house and slept in the spare room last night because I'm not taking any chances. I cannot afford to get sick again. I'm like sick note. On a happier note, Lauren and Ben went away to Cyprus for a week, and I have to say, I loved the peace and quiet of them not being here. It is so rare to have the house all to myself, and it was genuinely really refreshing. I even had a little cleaning spree, top to bottom, and for once the house actually stayed tidy and clean. It was bliss. But they're back now, so yeah. Not so much. We also had a lovely warm spell here in the UK. We got up to a whopping 28 degrees Celsius. For my US friends, that's about 82 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, but still cool in the evening. So around 7 degrees Celsius, which is I think 45 Fahrenheit-ish. So lovely in the daytime, just a little bit chilly at night. Mum managed to get out in the garden most days and soaked up some natural vitamin D, as did I. She was pottering around, doing a little bit of pruning and tinkering around with me, just enjoying the space and the sunshine. There was also a bit of proper laying about in the sun happening, which she deserved because, yeah, she done quite a lot in the garden. And we even had al fresco meals, so we had the barbecue out, which felt like a bit of a treat, I'll be honest, this early in the season. In the early evenings, we did have to turn on the patio heater because it was honestly, it was a little bit on the chilly side, but I cannot complain. This kind of weather so early in May is, yeah, it's a bonus. Sadly, it hasn't lasted. Here on the bank holiday weekend, it is called right off, but at least we've had no rain. So I've got the opportunity to, dust off the sprinklers, and the sprinklers have been turned on for the first time this year. Very early, I must say. Very unusual. And of course, we booked the girls, Honey and Bonbons, into the Wellbeing Park, which is like a secure field just for them. So no other dogs can go on there. They were let off the lead and they had the best of time running around. Though I must say, they mostly seem to want to eat the grass. I don't understand it. I really do have the strangest dogs alive, but they thoroughly enjoyed themselves. They were, legging it around. Of course, they were not listening to anything that they were told. But yeah, they had a blast. And because it wasn't so hot, it was perfect weather for them. So we took them at 7 p.m. in the evening. So that way it wasn't hot for them. It hasn't rained, so it wasn't all muddy. Like I say, it was just, yeah, they were like little lawnmowers going around, but they had a glorious time. They were exhausted by the time they got home. So that is my April update. 3 very different projects, but each one made me really happy this month. I thoroughly enjoyed just honing in and focusing, but it does make these videos very, very short and snappy, which I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. Do you prefer short and snappy, or are we feeling actually we preferred it when you just rabbited the iron legs off a donkey, Teresa, and showed us lots of stuff? I don't know. I feel personally like I've made a nice rhythm to May, and I'm excited to try and keep the momentum going with sort of the amount of stitching that I'm getting done. Let me know in the comments below if, like me, you have accidentally started stitching on Christmas stuff in spring, because yeah, the Afghan was very autumny, so that didn't really fit for spring. Winter White Santa really didn't fit the spring theme, but yeah, I was thoroughly enjoying it. I cannot, it's very bizarre. Normally, straight after Christmas, all my winter type projects all go away and all summery stuff comes out, because normally I don't want anything to do with Christmas or wintry or autumnal. I want spring, summery, light, airy. And yeah, it's not quite gone that way this year. I think WIPGO has been a driving factor in that, because I'm very, you know, as long as I get my WIPGOs done, I'm like, well, do you know what? Even if I don't manage anything else and WIPGO is my main focus, then I'm ticking some boxes. And the projects that I've been working on are very, very WIPGO based. So yeah, I think that's been the driving force, at least for this month. So I think that is about it, she says. Other than, you know me, frugal Teresa, don't really do much on the haul side. The only thing that I do have is my my West Green Loft Yarns Fabric of the Month Club. I haven't opened it. I thought we'd do it together. So let me get it out of the outside bag. It's going to make loads of noise. See if I can do it under the table so it doesn't crinkle too much. Okay. So let's have a little look. I'm going to put the overhead camera on so you can see it too. So this is what we... Ooh, I rather like that. Let me put something underneath it so you can get a comparison on colour, because it doesn't go so well when you put it under white. So this is West Green Loft Yarns Barton Cottage May Club. Ooh, it has got like I don't know whether that's a browny pinky mauvey type colour to it. When you think this is more like a, what would you call this? This is like a dark cream, and this is, well, when you think that's pink, like pastel pink, this is quite similar, but it's like a browny pink. It's like a taupe, I think this is more taupe, this is more cream. So yeah, that is my very, very frugal one piece of haul, because yeah, I don't need any more things. Yeah, I'm struggling to stitch on any of the stuff that I've actually got, so I'm trying to be really, really good and just stay in lane, people. So I think that's about it, and I will see you all in the next video, which I'm rather hoping I'm going to get some Stitch With Me's up, or maybe a live stream, because if all goes according to plan, I'm working from home this week, in which case I might be able to make something happen. That's the plan. I'll talk more about my work update life stuff in the next video, because I'll have a little bit more news for you then. But this time it was all about me, family, sunshine, gardens. And of course, if anyone is interested in seeing where we're at on the garden, then let me know, because yeah, I've hanging baskets are still in the greenhouse currently, but they are, yeah, they're looking glorious, absolutely glorious. And all of the alliums are out. Most of the tulips have already gone over. The daffodils are sort of going over, and yeah, we're at the in-between stage. We've not quite got new shoots of everything, but we've got quite a lot of new shoots on most things. But yeah, anyone interested on a garden update, even if it's not now and in the summer, then let me know, and I'll make sure to do a garden tour of how the garden looks in the spring summer here in the UK. So that is me done. Thank you so much. I wish you a lovely May. I will see you at some point during May with something. I'm just not sure what it'll be yet. So until next time, people, thank you for hanging out, and bye bye for now.